Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carl Dumbrell. I'm a director of Emperor Energy, and today I'm with fellow director Phil McNamara. It's Friday, the 20th of
Hey,
October.
Carl.
Hey, Phil. And we'd like to provide you with an update on the announcements we've made this week and what it means for your company. So, Phil, is gas still the main play for Emperor Energy?
Absolutely, Carl. Emperor Energy remains totally focused on the Judith gas field in Vic P47 exploration permit. It's located in Bass Strait, right next to the ExxonMobil system, right next to the Orbis gas plant, 40 kilometres offshore from Orbis gas plant.
Yep.
It remains our focus, and we continue to work on that project.
Yep, excellent. How big is the project, Phil?
The Judith gas field within Emperor Energy's permit contains 2 TCF of P50 prospective resource. That's a huge resource. As it was once said to me, you only find 1 TCF in your life. There's a prospective resource of 2. We feel there's definitely a full TCF of
Recoverable
gas to be recovered and put into the East Coast market from the Judith gas field.
And how long would that last in that marketplace? Let's say a city like Melbourne.
The dynamic modelling that's been done based on all the analysis and the new seismic data we've got and all the information and the work that's been done says we could continue to produce over 100 million feet per day there for 25 years.
Yeah, a significant play. Like it sounds mission critical to the change in the dynamic of energy in the East Coast.
Yes, the Orbis gas plant is 68 million cubic feet per day. We see Judith as being a scale up from that.
Yep.
And make a significant difference to what's happening in the East Coast gas grid. Yes.
Yep. So at the moment, we've also announced that we've been dealing with NOPTA. We've applied for an extension on our drill date. How's that going at the moment, Phil?
We put an application into NOPTA to extend the primary term of our permit to give us more time to complete our environmental plan approval and more time to then drill the well. We have a confirmed valid application from NOPTA, all on time. And we have then been requested to supply further information in relation to the application, and that has been completed and provided to NOPTA at the back end of September.
Yep.
So that's going well. The application is based on a force majeure event that is extended out the stakeholder consultation time required to put a valid application into to NOPSEMA for the environmental approval.
Yep.
And NOPTA's advice was to put the application forward on the basis of that, on the basis of the force majeure event. So we're quite confident about seeing this whole permit extension being approved.
When
for another 2 years.
And when would you feel we'd get a response from NOPTA on the extension?
NOPTA's guidelines indicate a period of time between 6 and 8 weeks from completion of application to the time that NOPTA complete their review, make recommendations to the joint authority, who are delegates of the ministers, both federal and state, and allow time for the joint authority to then make their final decision. So we see, with the application completed and the additional information supplied in late September, we see the response from NOPTA occurring in late November.
Okay, well, that's excellent. So that'll take us back to our environmental plan that we've been working on over the last 12 months. When do you think we'd finalise that environmental plan?
So the environmental plan was developed through 2022, and at the back end of, well, third quarter of and into fourth quarter of 2022, we started to kick off our stakeholder consultation process, and then the force majeure event, which changed the requirements for stakeholder consultation, occurred. So we have a completed application ready to go, but we have to get back and complete the stakeholder consultation. So our strategy now is to get an approval from NOPTA to extend the permit duration, the permit life. And once that's in place, we will restart our stakeholder consultation process with a view to then submitting our application to NOPSEMA early in 2024, We expect from that submission date through to getting approval, including time for providing additional information to NOPSEMA as they request it, we see approval occurring in the second quarter of 2024. That is approval, an environmental approval to drill the well.
That's excellent. Yeah. As far as partners concerned, like they'd want to know certainty on the NOPTA approval, wouldn't they? But where are we at with conversations with potential partners?
We're in conversation with potential partners. They obviously want to see the extension of the permit duration, and they'd obviously be more comfortable with dealing with a well that has an existing approval to be drilled. So they are the two key approval milestones for us moving forward.
Yep.
They've also asked us some questions which we've made ASX releases about. And the two key questions that have been asked are about the quality of the gas-bearing formations in the Judith gas field and about the calibration or the accuracy of our AVO interpretations, amplitude variation of offset of the seismic.
Yep.
So we engaged Steve Adams to carry out a review of the petrophysics. He's very well respected. He has confirmed our previous understanding of that we have 4 movable gas zones in the Judith 1 well that was drilled in 1989 by Shell. And he's confirmed the gas saturations that we had previous interpretation of. In his analysis, however, he's come back with a far better range of permeabilities than what we previously understood. And that's a game-changing situation, a game-changing piece of analysis, because it totally re-rates the flow rate, potential flow rate of the appraisal well that we plan to drill and any potential production wells like drilled later on. So that's a very positive outcome. We're taking that back to potential farm-in partners. And at the same time, we've had some more work done to calibrate the AVO response against Steve Adams' work. And that's been done by another well-respected individual consultant who has developed a technique to overcome the fact that we don't have a full wave sonic log from the original 1989 well. He's developed a technique to deal with that, and we're seeing some good initial responses from him. So that's taken a little bit longer than we expected to complete that work, but we will be looking to put an announcement out to the market quite soon about that. Once again, we'll be taking that information back to potential farming partners to answer the two big questions. Is the formation, the gas-bearing formation quality good enough? And do you have a calibration on the seismic AVO amplitude response? Yep. We believe both of those questions are being answered with very, very good data.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So gas is a transition energy into the whole move by 2050 to renewables. It sounds like the timeline of EMP's project turning on is really critical for that transition and will complement East Coast Australia's transition into renewables, but at the same time, significantly reducing CO2. Is that right, Phil? Like, is that where you see it?
Renewable energy needs firming capacity. There's no doubt about that. There is a natural variability in solar and wind renewable energy.
Yep.
Hydro capacity is good firming capacity. The Snowy Mountains 2 system has obviously got a major delay occurring. But apart from that, separate from that, renewable energy needs firming capacity to back it up. And at the moment, that firming capacity in Victoria and New South Wales is coming out of coal-fired power stations. It's black coal in New South Wales, but even worse than that is brown coal in Victoria. So it's quite logical that as renewable energy capacity increases, it's quite logical to make the transition from brown coal in Victoria to gas-fired generation to firm up the renewable supply. Gas-fired generation can be ramped up and down very, very quickly, and it's the perfect way to firm renewable energy. So we see that Victoria is going to have to move towards a level of gas-fired generation that firms up renewables, and by doing that, and shutting down the brown coal industry, there would be a major improvement in total CO2 emissions.
Yep. So this week, Phil, we've announced a mining play. Can you quickly just tell us a little bit about this mining project?
Carl, the gas business that we're in it's a long-term play.
Hmm.
And what we've been looking for, as you well know, what we've been looking for in this company is how to generate some cash flow that underpins the company and provides regular income and keeps the company rolling forward without having to rely on regular capital raises for day-to-day expenses of staying listed and being in business.
Yep.
And across this year, 2023, we've looked for opportunities, we've engaged with some people, we've looked for something that would fit. And what we've found are three gold mining leases. They're overlapping, they've been integrated, they've been privately held for more than 30 years. And we know there's gold there. There's historic workings. We've been to site, we've looked. There are historic workings where there are records of gold being extracted. There are old exploration results, old assay results carried out from exploration work that was done in the early 1980s.
Yep.
We know there's gold on the site. Now, we see that this is an untouched gold asset. There's an opportunity here to buy it at a price that we see reasonable within the capability of the company at this point in time. And I want to reiterate, it is a mining lease. It's not an exploration permit.
Mm.
So we need to then do some drilling, firm up areas where we would start to mine and understand what the grades would be, and then move towards a contract mining operation with a contract processing of the gold ore at a nearby mill, 60 to 80 kilometres away in the Charters Towers region. We see the opportunity to move towards that sort of swing produce operation that can give us some generate cash for us on a regular basis each year. Now, it would be very much focusing on smaller scale, high grade, generating cash. It's not a distraction away from the gold business. It's purely a way for us at Emperor Energy to generate some regular income for the company.
Yeah, and that's the main point of the video today to everyone out there in conclusion. We're here to basically say that we're not moving away from gas. And right now, the company's share price is at a place where anybody who was to participate in on-market or off-market transactions would likely do very well. So EMP is not changing. It's just complementing what it's doing in the gas play with a small gold mine, and it's a mining project. And I'd say to anybody out there that if you have any questions, like, pick the phone up and call us. But thanks so much, Phil, today. I just wanted to give the shareholders an update, and you've got all your details. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
I'm going to end that, Phil.